Lori Wilson is case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. Channel 2's anchor Lori Wilson is live near where the shooting happened, near the Varsity, and Lori, police say they have video evidence in this case.
Javita, APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
Banks' attorney says this is a celebrity witch hunt.
Were it not for the celebrity status of these 2 individuals, then this would be an aggravated assault.
Banks released a single "Turn Myself In" the day he turned himself in. It's gotten almost 7 million views. The prosecutor charging this wasn't just a robbery and shooting, but gang activity. She put a Chicago detective on the stand to testify that Banks and Bennett are members of Chicago gangs.
Is it possible to continue your affiliation and even commit crimes when you move out of Chicago if you're in a different city or if a different area?
Yes, ma'am.
The judge ruled today there is enough evidence to move forward with all charges against Banks and Bennett, including criminal intent to murder as well as criminal gang activity. They'll be back in front of a judge in a month to ask for bond. Live downtown, Lori Wilson, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Lori, of course, we will continue to watch what happens here. Dirk Banks spoke
as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
Did you do it?
Is live at the iconic restaurant on North Avenue. Megan, bullets were flying.
They did, Sean. They were flying. Police found several shell casings in this parking lot. The Varsity was closed at the time this happened, around 5:45 this morning. But this club across Spring Street was open, and one patron who was parked in the Varsity lot to go to that club told me what he went through. This is not how this out-of-town visitor here for Super Bowl festivities thought he would be wrapping up his trip to Atlanta. The man from Chicago, who goes by Gutta, returned to the Varsity parking lot this afternoon to change the tire and assess the damage on his cousin's car after it was hit by bullets.
Tired, exhausted, wild night. I'm just happy I'm alive, basically, so that's really what my main focus is.
He had just paid the cover to get into One Cigar Lounge across Spring Street when he heard the shots outside around 5:45 a.m. He says people hit the floor and he hid in a bathroom.
Yeah, I left the Waffle House and was like, oh, it's a club right here. We thought it would be cool to stop, have a drink or two. And then soon we got in and just gunshots went off. Wasn't even there for 5 minutes.
Police say a 23-year-old man was in serious condition when he was rushed to the hospital after the shooting. They are now looking for a dark-colored SUV. A statement from the Varsity says the restaurant was closed at the time and none of their employees or customers were on site. They are doing anything they can to help Atlanta police.
I'm just glad everybody else is safe.
Now, at this point,